Welcome back to our channel US Coins World. Today, we're diving into the world of rare state $quarter coins. Some of these could be worth a small fortune. If you've got quarters lying around, you won't want to miss this. Let's find out if you're sitting on hidden treasure. So let's continue our today's video on Top 1. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about coins from the 50 state quarters program launched by the United States Mint, the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter. Now, don't let the everyday look of this coin fool you. What may seem like a regular quarter could actually be a valuable and rare collectible worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. So grab your magnifying glass and let's explore what makes this coin such an exciting find. Let's start with a little background. In 1999, the United States kicked off the legendary 50 state quarters series to honor each state with a unique coin design. Connecticut was the fifth state to be featured, and its quarter stands out with one of the most elegant designs in the entire collection. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see the famous Charter Oak, a historic tree that symbolizes American independence and defiance. According to legend, the state's royal charter was hidden inside the hollow of this very tree to protect it from being taken by the British. The image captures not just a tree, but a story of freedom, courage, and resilience. Now here's where things get really interesting, because while millions of these quarters were minted and used in everyday transactions, only a few special ones have gained legendary status among collectors. You might be wondering, what makes a Connecticut quarter so valuable? Well, the secret lies in the errors. That's right, sometimes mistakes at the US Mint create rare variants that become incredibly desirable to collectors. One of the most sought-after versions of the 1999 Connecticut quarter includes a double die error. This means that the coin was struck more than once by the die, leading to visible doubling in the lettering or details of the tree branches. If you find a quarter with these kinds of doubling effects, especially around the words Connecticut or the Charter Oak, you might be holding on to something very rare. Another prized error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin wasn't perfectly aligned during the minting process. The result is a coin where the design appears shifted or incomplete, creating a unique one-of-a-kind look that serious collectors crave. There are also rare coins with clipped planchets, where a small part of the coin's edge is missing due to a cutting mishap at the mint. These types of mint errors are not only fascinating to look at but can dramatically increase a coin's value. So, what makes these error coins so valuable? It's the combination of rarity, uniqueness, and historical importance. A normal Connecticut quarter might only be worth 25 cents. But when you add in the right kind of mint error, a pristine condition, and collector demand, it becomes an entirely different story. Collectors go wild for these kinds of coins because they're like finding a misprinted dollar bill or a rare stamp. It's a small piece of American history that's completely unique, something no one else may have. And in the world of coin collecting, rarity equals value. But here's the part you've been waiting for: just how much can one of these rare 1999 Connecticut state quarters be worth? Are you ready for it? Some of these rare error coins, in absolutely pristine condition and verified by professional grading services, have been known to fetch an eye-popping $89,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that most people would overlook in their pocket change could actually be worth $89,000. That's not just pocket change, that's life-changing. So the next time you're sifting through your change or going through that old coin jar on the shelf, take a closer look. That simple-looking Connecticut quarter could be hiding a rare minting error or design flaw that turns it into a collector's dream. Don't forget, condition is key. A clean, sharp coin without scratches or wear is far more valuable than one that's been through years of circulation. If you think you've got something special, consider getting it appraised or graded by a professional numismatic service. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more treasure hunting tips, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another opportunity to uncover the next hidden gem hiding in plain sight. Top 2. We're turning our spotlight to the wide-open plains of America's heartland, a place known for its rich history, endless skies, and, believe it or not, one of the most surprising coins in the entire 50 state quarter series. That's right, we're talking about the Nebraska State Quarter from 2006. Now, don't be fooled by its common appearance. This little piece of metal might look like any other quarter jingling around in your change jar or stuck between couch cushions. But what if I told you that a very special version of this exact coin, minted right here in the United States, could be worth more than most cars, more than a year's salary, and even more than some homes? Stick with me to the end of this video, because you won't want to miss the moment we reveal how much one of these incredible coins is worth. You just might have one lying around. Let's start by setting the scene. In 2006, the United States Mint was in full swing with its widely popular 50-state quarters program, honoring each state with its own uniquely designed quarter. Nebraska was among those featured, and what a story its coin tells. The Nebraska quarter captures a powerful image of history and movement. On the reverse side, you'll find a dynamic design featuring an old covered wagon moving west across the plains with Chimney Rock rising in the distance. It's a tribute to the pioneer spirit and the countless brave men, women, and children who journeyed through the vast American frontier in search of new beginnings. That wagon train isn't just a design, it's a moving snapshot of the Oregon Trail, one of the most iconic chapters of American expansion. Every detail on this coin was meant to inspire awe and reflect a rich cultural legacy. But beyond its beautiful design, there's another layer that's caught the attention of coin collectors around the world: the errors. Now this is where things start to get interesting. Like most coins, the Nebraska quarter was mass-produced at the Denver and Philadelphia mints. And while the U.S. Mint is known for its precision and consistency, even they aren't immune to the occasional mistake. These errors, though accidental, are what transform a regular 25-cent coin into a collector's treasure. Some of the rarest Nebraska quarters from 2006 feature what experts call a double die error. This means the coin was struck twice, ever so slightly off, resulting in a noticeable doubling in parts of the design or the lettering. On the Nebraska quarter, doubling may be seen in the words Nebraska, 1867, or even around Chimney Rock itself. This small visual error can have a huge impact on the coin's value. Another highly collectible mistake is the die clash error. This occurs when the front and back dies strike each other without a planchet, the blank coin disc, in between. The result is a strange and ghost-like impression of the obverse design appearing faintly on the reverse, or vice versa. When this happens, it creates an eerie and unique coin that is instantly attractive to collectors who seek one-of-a-kind oddities. There are also reports of off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, leaving part of the coin blank and the image slightly shifted. These types of errors are visually dramatic and extremely popular with collectors. Depending on how far off the strike is, the coin's value can increase dramatically. Even rarer are coins that display clipped planchets, where a portion of the metal is missing from the coin edge. Though tiny, this type of error means the coin was improperly cut during minting. If you have one of these unusual pieces, it's already something very special. So why are these errors so valuable? The answer is simple: scarcity plus demand equals value. In the world of numismatics, rarity is everything. A common coin can be found anywhere, but a coin with a known, documented mint error, especially one in mint state or uncirculated condition, can fetch enormous sums from collectors who are always looking to add that special piece to their collection. These coins are more than money, they're part of American history, frozen in time with imperfections that tell a deeper story, and that's what makes collecting coins so thrilling. It's not just about the metal or the face value. It's about the hunt. The possibility. The dream that the next coin you flip over could be one of the rare few worth far more than anyone expects. Now, if you've stuck with us this far, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. You're probably wondering, how much could one of these rare, error-filled, perfectly preserved 2006 Nebraska state quarters actually be worth? Drumroll, please. The most valuable known versions of the Nebraska state quarter, featuring significant minting errors and preserved in pristine condition, have sold to collectors for as much as $85,000. Yes, you heard that right. $85,000 for a single quarter. Just imagine, one coin, sitting unnoticed in someone's drawer or old piggy bank, suddenly becomes a treasure worth more than some luxury cars, more than 4 years at a public university, and more than most people earn in an entire year. All because of a little minting mistake and the right set of eyes. So what should you do next? Start checking your spare change. Dig through your old coin collections. Look closely at the 2006 Nebraska quarters you may already have. Use a magnifying glass, look for doubling, check for off-center strikes or strange impressions, and if you think you've got something rare, take it to a coin expert or a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll be able to tell you if your coin is the real deal and possibly worth a small fortune, and remember, coin collecting is about more than money. It's about discovering the unexpected, appreciating the art and history in every coin, and joining a community of enthusiasts who see value where others might not. Top 3. We're diving into a very special coin from the America the Beautiful Quarters program, one that may just be sitting quietly in your coin jar, wallet, or old change drawer, and could turn out to be worth a small fortune. Yes, you heard that right. The coin we're talking about today is none other than the 2010 Hot Springs National Park Quarter, minted as part of a grand celebration of America's national treasures. But what makes this little 25-cent piece so extraordinary? Why are collectors buzzing about this particular coin? And how can one single quarter be worth an incredible $81,000? Stay tuned, because you're about to find out. Let's start with a little background. In 2010, the United States Mint launched the America the Beautiful Quarters series, a program designed to honor some of the most breathtaking and historically important national parks and sites across all 50 states and U.S. territories. And the very first coin released in this prestigious series? The Hot Springs Quarter, honoring Hot Springs National Park in Arkansas, the oldest protected area in the national park system, even older than Yellowstone. On the front of the coin, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, a classic image that's graced the quarter since 1932. But flip it over, and you'll find the detailed depiction of the Hot Springs National Park headquarters building, complete with the ornate fountain in front, symbolizing the healing waters that made this location famous for centuries. The design is elegant, historical, and filled with meaning, paying tribute to the natural beauty and restorative power of these legendary springs. But here's where things get really exciting, because not all of these coins are created equal. While millions of Hot Springs quarters were minted for general circulation, a very small number came with minting errors and rare variations that have collectors on high alert. These errors are not visible at first glance, but to a trained eye, or a lucky collector, they stand out in a big way. Some of these include die cracks, where imperfections in the minting die caused raised lines to appear across the coin's surface. Others have off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting, creating a noticeable misprint. There are also double die errors, where the images or letters appear to be shadowed or doubled, an especially prized mistake among coin experts. And then, there are the proof and special strike versions, coins that were never meant to be spent. These were minted on polished planchets with high detail and a mirror-like finish, sold in limited collector sets. If one of these coins somehow made it into circulation, or was held in flawless condition since 2010, it could command serious money on the open market. Now imagine this: you come across a 2010 Hot Springs quarter in your collection. It looks normal at first, but upon closer inspection, it has a mint error, a dramatic one. It's in pristine, uncirculated condition. It might even be a rare proof strike that slipped through the cracks. This isn't just a piece of change anymore. This is a coin that serious collectors would pay top dollar for at auction. In fact, one such specimen, featuring an extremely rare error and graded at the highest quality, sold for an astonishing $81,000. Yes, you heard me right. A single Hot Springs quarter from 2010, under the right conditions, with the right error, and in top-grade condition, brought in $81,000. That's enough to buy a luxury car. Or take a trip around the world. Or pay off student loans and still have some left over to start a collection of your OWN.SO. If you've got some quarters lying around, now's the time to take a closer look. Grab a magnifying glass, check for those errors, inspect the shine, and see if you just might be holding on to a piece of hidden treasure. Who knows? That little coin in your pocket might just be your golden ticket. Top 4. We're talking about one of the most mysterious, most talked about, and most valuable coins in the entire state quarter series, the 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter. This quarter isn't just a tribute to dairy farms and Midwestern charm, it's a coin with a secret. A secret that, under the right circumstances, has turned a regular 25-cent piece into something worth tens of thousands of dollars. Now, if you're someone who loves collecting coins or even just someone who finds joy in discovering hidden gems, you're going to want to listen very carefully. Because the Wisconsin quarter is more than a piece of currency, it's a legend. Let's start with some background. In 1999, the United States Mint launched a bold and beautiful initiative, the 50-State Quarters Program. Each year, 5 new quarters were released to honor the unique identity, history, and culture of each U.S. state. It was an instant hit with collectors and casual coin lovers alike, and by 2004, we were well into the heart of the program. That year, the Mint released a quarter for the state of Wisconsin, known as America's Dairyland. On the reverse side of the coin, a design emerged that celebrated the state's agricultural roots. The coin featured a proud dairy cow, a round of cheese, and a shucked ear of corn. Above the imagery, the motto, "Forward," was inscribed, a fitting word for a state rooted in tradition but always moving ahead. At first glance, the coin was simple, straightforward. A charming tribute to Wisconsin's farming culture. But then something strange happened. A collector noticed something different, something odd, about the corn. You see, on most of the 2004 Wisconsin quarters, the ear of corn appears perfectly normal. But on a small number of coins, minted in Denver, something unusual stands out, an extra leaf. Or rather, 2 different versions of that extra leaf. On one version, the extra leaf points upward, a curved addition to the left of the corn stalk, almost like it's reaching toward the sky. On another, the extra leaf droops downward, curling near the bottom of the corn. These weren't design features. They weren't supposed to be there. These were minting anomalies, accidental variations that slipped through quality control. And that made all the difference. Why? Because collectors absolutely love error coins. Not because they're flawed, but because they're rare. They're like nature's little hiccups, quirky, unexpected, and incredibly hard to find. And when you combine rarity with historical interest and collector demand, you create the perfect storm for a valuable coin. Let's get into the details of these mysterious leaves. The 2 error types became known as the extra leaf high and extra leaf low varieties. And for years, coin experts and collectors have debated exactly how they happened. Some believe it was a result of die gouging, where a tool or piece of equipment accidentally struck the die and left behind a raised mark. Others think it may have been done intentionally by a mint worker, as a kind of hidden signature or Easter egg. The truth? We may never know for sure. But one thing's for certain, the coins with the extra leaves are dramatically more valuable than the standard version. Now, keep in mind, millions of 2004 Wisconsin quarters were minted. They're not rare by themselves. You can still find them in circulation today. But out of those millions, only a few thousand of the extra leaf varieties are believed to exist. And fewer still are in mint state condition, which means they've never been circulated, scratched, or worn. Think about that. Out of millions of coins, just a tiny fraction contain the error. And of those, only a sliver have survived in pristine shape. These are the coins that serious collectors go wild for, and we haven't even gotten to the grading yet. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS 70 representing a flawless, mint-perfect coin. Even a high grade like MS 67 or MS 68 can boost a coin's value dramatically. So what happens when you take a rare error coin, like the Wisconsin quarter with the extra leaf high or extra leaf low, and combine it with an ultra-high grade? You get a jackpot. There are verified cases where collectors have found these coins, sent them in for grading, and discovered they held something truly extraordinary. A coin that not only features the rare error, but is nearly perfect in condition. That's when the price jumps from a few hundred, to a few thousand, and in the most exceptional cases, much, much more. Now let's imagine this for a moment. You're digging through a drawer. Maybe you're counting coins from your tip jar. Or you're sorting through an old change collection from years ago. And there it is, a 2004 Wisconsin quarter. You take a closer look. The coin has something odd on the left side. Could it be? You compare it to another quarter. This one looks different. You look again, and suddenly, you realize you're holding one of the legendary extra leaf error coins, and it's in beautiful condition. This isn't just a fun find. This is the kind of discovery that coin collectors dream of. This is a piece of history. This is a 1 in a million mistake that turns an everyday object into a rare treasure. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. How much could one of these rare Wisconsin quarters be worth? Well, one of the finest known examples of the 2004 Wisconsin state quarter with the extra leaf error, in near-perfect uncirculated condition, recently sold at auction for an unbelievable price. That single quarter, just 25 cents in face value, was sold for a life-changing total of $83,000. Yes, you heard me correctly. $83,000 for a single state quarter with a mysterious leaf and a rare minting error. So the next time you get change at the store, or you open up that dusty jar of coins sitting on your shelf, take a closer look. Examine every detail. Especially if you come across a Wisconsin quarter from 2004. Look at that corn. Is there an extra leaf? Is it curling down? Pointing up? You just might be staring at something worth more than your car, or even more than your yearly salary. Top 5. We're talking about the 2015 Saratoga National Historical Park Quarter, a piece of American heritage that may just be hiding in your pocket change or old coin collection, but this isn't just any quarter. It's one that has turned heads in the coin collecting world for its historical significance, beautifully detailed design, and a few rare surprises that make it stand out in a big way. In fact, one specific version of this coin has reached an astonishing value that most people wouldn't believe. Stick with me to the very end, because I'll reveal exactly how much this coin could be worth, and you're going to want to hear it. Let's start with the story behind the coin. Released in 2015 as part of the United States Mint's America the Beautiful Quarters program, the Saratoga Quarter honors the pivotal Battle of Saratoga, which took place during the American Revolutionary War. This was the battle that many historians consider to be the true turning point in the struggle for independence. It marked the surrender of British General John Burgoyne to American General Horatio Gates in 1777. That victory changed everything. It gave the American cause legitimacy and brought crucial support from France. It was, in many ways, the battle that helped win the war. The reverse side of the coin captures this moment with stunning symbolism. You'll see two hands, one American, one British, crossing in a formal sword surrender. The British officer is handing over his sword, symbolizing not just the end of a battle, but the handing over of power and the beginning of a new nation's rise. Beneath the image, the inscriptions read Saratoga, New York, and the year, 2015, along with the familiar motto, E Pluribus Unum. On the obverse, of course, we have the classic image of George Washington, which has graced the quarter since 1932. But what makes the 2015 Saratoga quarter so special isn't just its historical design, it's what happened during the minting process. You see, while millions of these quarters were made, only a very small number were struck with rare minting errors or released in extremely high-grade, uncirculated condition. These are the coins that collectors dream about, the hidden gems that elevate a simple quarter into a prized possession. Let's talk about some of the errors that make this coin so incredibly valuable. First, there are double die errors, which happen when the coin is struck more than once, slightly misaligned. This creates a shadow or doubling effect, especially visible in the lettering or finer details of the coin. For the Saratoga quarter, doubling has been reported in areas like the word Liberty or around the date and mint mark. Next, we have off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting. This causes the design to appear shifted, and in some cases, parts of the coin are left completely blank. These kinds of errors are relatively rare and make a coin significantly more valuable to collectors. Then there are planchet errors, which occur when the metal blank used to make the coin is flawed. This could mean the wrong metal composition, a clipped planchet, where a portion of the coin is literally missing, or even lamination errors where layers of the metal begin to peel. There have also been reports of die cracks and cuts on Saratoga quarters, raised lines or lumps caused by damaged minting equipment. While not always dramatic, these errors make a coin unique, and rarity is the lifeblood of coin collecting, but errors alone aren't the only reason the Saratoga quarter has gained so much attention. Certain coins, especially those struck at specific mints like San Francisco, marked with an S, are created in proof condition, meaning they're struck using polished dies on specially prepared planchets. The result is a coin with mirror-like surfaces and razor-sharp details, usually made for collectors only. If one of these coins was preserved in flawless condition, what we call MS 70 grade, the highest possible on the Sheldon scale, it can demand serious money at auction. Even regular mint condition Saratoga quarters graded at MS 67 or above are considered highly collectible, especially if they contain errors. That's because only a tiny fraction of coins ever make it to such high grades without damage, wear, or handling. Now imagine combining all of that, a rare minting error, struck in near perfect condition, possibly a proof or an early die strike. You're not just holding a quarter. You're holding a slice of American history, a beautifully flawed miracle of production, and a coveted item in the eyes of the coin collecting world. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. One such 2015 Saratoga quarter, featuring a rare double die error and preserved in stunning, uncirculated condition, fetched a jaw-dropping price on the collector's market. Are you ready? That single quarter was sold for an eye-watering total of $78,000, yes, you heard that right. A 25-cent piece, worth $78,000. That's enough to buy a brand new luxury car, make a down payment on a home, or fund years of travel. And all of it started with one simple coin. So what should you do now? Well, it's time to go on a treasure hunt. Search through your coin jars, your change from the store, or that old drawer where you keep your loose quarters. Look closely for any 2015 Saratoga quarters, especially those that seem off-center, have strange textures, doubled letters, or anything that looks unusual. Even better, if you find one that looks flawless, shine it under a good light and consider having it professionally graded by a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC, because you never know. That little quarter in your hand could be hiding a huge surprise. That if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's hidden treasures and want to uncover more rare coins that could be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss the next discovery. This is the world of numismatics, where history, mystery, and money come together in the palm of your hand. Thanks for watching, happy hunting, and may your next quarter be worth $78,000.